Welcome back, everybody, to the Metropolis Bulldogs Teambuilder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. Today, our Bulldogs round out our non-conference schedule with weeks 2 and 3, with week 2 at home against one of our rivals, the Maryland Terrapins, and then week 3 headed out on the road to UNC Chapel Hill to take on Sam Howell and the number 2 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels in what should be easily our most challenging game of the season. Last episode was week 1 against Washington State, and we shocked the world, upsetting the Cougars at home 27-24. The big storyline in that game was the start of our quarterback battle between a couple of our true freshmen in Jonathan Roberts and Manuel Castillo. Roberts played the first half, Castillo played the second half, and Roberts got more of an opportunity to shine, and he was definitely better, but we will get to see more Manuel Castillo today. Osiris Young, another one of our true freshmen, had an unbelievable debut, 11 catches, 233 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He was our highest-ranked recruit, and it was pretty easy to tell that he was the best player on the field. So as we look at Maryland, of course, they are led by redshirt junior quarterback Taulia Tagovailoa, the younger brother of Tua Tagovailoa. We played this team last year, and we lost by a lot, but it was our very first game, not just of the season, but in program history, so it was sort of to be expected. I'm excited to see what the Bulldogs can do this year against Maryland, coming off a big win last week against Washington State, so this should certainly be a fun game and much more competitive than last year's matchup. Welcome, everybody, to Metropolis Field, home of the 1-0 Metropolis Bulldogs. It is a packed house here today. A ton of fans have come in, and for the most part, I see Metropolis colors in the crowd. It's been great to see the fans really starting to come out, because if you remember at the beginning of last year, there was barely anybody in the stadium, and now clearly these fans have bought into this program in a major way, and they want to watch these young players. They want to watch guys like Osiris Young, who are must-see TV. On third down, Manuel Castillo making the start today is incomplete. I'm curious to see what Castillo will get to do with a bigger role. He's going to play the first half, and Jonathan Roberts will play the second half. So Maryland has the football. It's Penny Boone with a nice gain of 13 yards. Maryland moving down the field slowly but surely, as the Terrapins are definitely the favorite today, but that's what we said about Washington State last week. Tagovailoa is picked off by the redshirt freshman SOUR-KREME, his first career interception, and the Bulldogs will get the ball back. Great to see SOUR-KREME make a play. I thought he had a pretty disappointing debut last week, so it's good to see him making some noise. First play at the drive for the offense. It's Marcus Wilkerson, the senior, with a gain of 22. I think Wilkerson can be last year's Reggie King in a way. Both players aren't overly explosive, but they are pretty good with the ball in their hands, as shown on that run. On first down, there's the tight end, Tavion Smith-Gardner, with a nice reception. Manuel Castillo completes his second pass of the day. I think Jonathan Roberts is definitely the favorite to win this quarterback battle, but if Manuel Castillo plays well, he could certainly take home that job. On first down, there's a strike for his former high school teammate, Osiris Young, and the Archbishop Carroll connection will go for a gain of 15 yards. That's Young's first catch of the day, coming off his great debut. Here's his second catch of the day on the curl route, bringing it to about the 2-yard line. Great play there by the Bulldogs, but they're having some trouble punching it in, as it's now a 3rd and goal, backed up at around the 6 or 7 yard line. Castillo looking to throw it, and it is caught by Metropolis. Tamarion Johnson, the senior, comes down with it, and the Bulldogs are on the board first. That was one ballsy throw, and at first glance, I thought it was intercepted. The defensive back really had a hand on it, but Tamarion Johnson was able to swipe it away from him. So the Bulldogs are on the board now, 7-0. Good run up the middle by Boone. Maryland has ran the ball pretty well today, but I think they have a lot more talent in their pass game. Along with Taulia Tagovailoa, they've got a number of good receivers in sophomore Rakeem Jarrett and tight end Chigoziem Okonkwo. So that'll end the first quarter. The Bulldogs are looking pretty good. They lead this one 7-0. The offense has been fine. The defense has been okay as well. So now we move to the second quarter. Maryland has a lot to prove in this drive as they try to get back in the game, and that's not going to help them. Taulia Tagovailoa loses forward to the senior linebacker, Ford Chavez, who brings him down, and that'll lead us to a 3rd and 8. As you can tell, this team is definitely led by freshmen and seniors. There's not really like an in-between. Good throw there for Marcus Fleming for a nice gain of about 14 yards. That was solid coverage by Michael Roberson, the true freshman linebacker, but he was unfortunately unable to make a play. Handoff back for Boone. He's got room. Trucks Jovanovic. That was a Derrick Henry type run, and Ryan Jovanovic is one of the best tacklers in the country, and he just got laid the hell out. First and goal. Tagovailoa, no time to throw it. He is sacked by Malcolm DeGray. The Bulldogs did not get a single sack last week against Washington State, so that's their first sack of the year. It took a little bit longer than anticipated, I suppose. Third and goal. Tagovailoa goes short for Dino Tomlin, and he is literally inches away from the end zone. What does Maryland do here on 4th and goal? They're going to send the field goal team out. I'm kind of surprised by this call. I expected them to go for it, and I feel like they should have gone for it. Seems like they're more so playing not to lose rather than playing to win. They do make the kick, but I feel like they could have done more with that drive. So the Bulldogs have it back. It's a 2nd and 10 here for the offense. Manuel Castillo drops back to throw it. Under pressure, and he is intercepted. Tarheeb still picks off the pass. He was trying to get it to Osiris Young, hoping Young would be able to get a lot of separation away from the defensive back, but still was right there. Perfect man-to-man coverage. He was in front of a receiver, which is a very big deal. Bad read there by Castillo, and now Maryland has it back with a great opportunity to take the lead. But SOUR-KREME has other plans. Cream with his 2nd interception of the game. If you asked him what his favorite number was, he'd pick 6. A touchdown for the Metropolis Bulldogs, and it is now 14-3. SOUR-KREME, the redshirt freshman, has now picked off 2 passes today. Wow, what a great play and a great first half for Cream. And the Bulldogs are now up by 2 scores. Following Maryland possession, first play from scrimmage. Tagovailoa is picked off again! SOUR-KREME with his 3rd interception of the first half. To put this into perspective, last year, Mekhi Diggins led the team in interceptions with 2. SOUR-KREME here in the first half of this game has more interceptions than anybody in school history. That is unbelievably mind-blowing. So after Cream picks off his 3rd pass, the Bulldogs are right back on offense, and they're right back in the end zone. But freshman Donovan Barrington with his first collegiate touchdown. And look at that scoreboard. We've got ourselves an early blowout. 21-3. Metropolis is dominating, or should I say specifically, SOUR-KREME is dominating. Maryland does not have a lot of time left here in the first half. If they want to score, they have to move quick. As Chigo Okonkwo tries to hurdle the defender. Now we go a couple plays later. It's a 3rd down here for the Terps. Clock sits at just about 6 seconds. Tagovailoa goes short for Jones. He is wrapped up quickly. Clock stops at 1 second. So the Terps will have enough time to run one more Hail Mary here from the Metropolis 45. The Bulldogs have had trouble stopping Hail Marys in the past. I believe they allowed 2 last year, which is kind of a big number. Will Taulia Tagovailoa get this one to the end zone? It looks like he does, and the pass is caught! Rakeem Jarrett with the Hail Mary touchdown to end the first half. What a big play for the Maryland Terrapins, who do put themselves on the board with a big touchdown before halftime. But despite that, it's the Metropolis Bulldogs who are up by 11, should be up by 18 if not for some fluke Hail Mary touchdown. 21-10, what a start for Metropolis. 3 interceptions for the freshman SOUR-KREME, who in this game alone has now broken the school record for interceptions, not just in a game, not just in a season, but in a career, which is unbelievable. So Maryland has it back here in the second half. If they can score on this drive, they can get back in the game as Dejuan McDougal gets about 14. That was a 3rd down as well, so a nice conversion there. I think other than the 3 interceptions, which is kind of a big deal, Taulia has thrown the ball fairly well. 3rd and 3, handoff for Penny Boone. He only gets a yard, maybe not even. Big play by the Metropolis defense, so on 4th and 3, now they're going to go for it, but they won't go for it on the 1-inch yard line. They do convert as Penny Boone gets about 5 or 6, so it is good enough for Maryland first down. Now at the goal line, 2nd and goal, trying to make it a 1-score game here on this possession, as it's a handoff for Boone, and he is in for a Maryland touchdown. Don't look now, but the Terps are right back in the game with a pair of touchdown-scoring drives. Their offense has started to figure some things out, and it's now 21-17. Jonathan Roberts is checked into the game for the first time here for Metropolis as he connects with Osiris Young for the first down. Young did most of his damage last week with Jonathan Roberts at quarterback, which is a surprise because, again, Young has more chemistry with Manuel Castillo because they were high school teammates. 3rd and 1, Victor Adams tries to get a big first down run rather than just get the first. He's unsuccessful. 4th and 1, back to Adams. He has the first and more. Touchdown, Victor Adams. I've got to say, the Bulldogs have ran the ball pretty well today. I know I haven't talked about the run game a ton. There haven't been many big runs, but there have been a lot of consistent plays, which has really been the Bulldogs' weakness since this series started. 3rd quarter in the books. Both teams add touchdowns. It is Metropolis who remains up by 11. 28-17 your score. We'll see if the Bulldogs can finish off the job here in the 4th quarter and become 2-0, which is very impressive considering this team won only 3 games last season. 3rd and 9, Tagovailoa under pressure, takes a shot deep, and he's intercepted. Ford Chavez with the interception. Nice return there for Chavez, and that could be the dagger. The Bulldogs being up by 11. Now they're in the red zone. I think a touchdown officially ends the game. Roberts goes short for his tight end, Tavion Smith-Gardner, and he is in for a score. So now it's 35-17. After that, Maryland would get the ball. They wouldn't really do much, and then Metropolis would get it back with about 4 minutes to go, and they just chew clock for the rest of the way, so I figured there wouldn't be much of a point to show what happened. So there you go. 35-17 is your final, and the Bulldogs, after only winning 3 games last year, only one of which was against a Power 5 opponent, have started this season 2-0 with 2 wins against Power 5 opponents, which is a very big deal, and this game in particular because it is a rivalry game. So to beat a rival like this by a lot really is a very big deal. We prioritized for run, so the pass game wasn't all that exciting. Both quarterbacks were fine. I don't think anybody really made ground in the QB battle. But it was the run game. I thought we had one of our better rushing performances of the series. Adams and Barrington with 50 yards apiece and a touchdown. Osiris Young, 4 catches, 51 yards. He did drop 2 passes, so a lot quieter than last week. Obviously, the big storyline on defense was the 3 interceptions by SOUR-KREME, who had a fantastic performance in this one. The special teams did their jobs. Just overall, good team win. Taulia Tagovailoa obviously threw 4 interceptions here. Not a great season debut for Taulia. I wonder if the Maryland fans are going to call for their true freshman quarterback, Wilbur Ford, who played at DeMatha Catholic last season. Maryland just wasn't as good as us. We were the better team today. We showed it. And I think the game was a little bit closer than the score suggested. I mean, the turnovers, you could argue, are a little bit fluky, but we deserved to win this game. We won this game. Now we're 2-0, headed into a very tough battle in Chapel Hill against the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are the 2nd-ranked team in the country, only trailing Bryce Young and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Last year, Metropolis played against 2 ranked teams. Number 1 Alabama in Tuscaloosa, number 2 Oklahoma in Norman. I'm pretty sure in those 2 games, the combined deficit at halftime was only like 2 points. The Bulldogs were very competitive early against both of those teams, but then floundered in the second half. Once Alabama and Oklahoma knew that Metropolis was going to put up a fight, they dominated in the second half. So I'm curious to see if that happens today with North Carolina, that they start slow and pick it up as the game goes along. I don't think this North Carolina team is as good as Alabama or Oklahoma last year, and then vice versa. Metropolis is a lot better than they were a season ago. But as I said earlier, this is the toughest game on the schedule this year for the Bulldogs. Currently, North Carolina is the only ranked team on Metropolis' schedule. We'll see what happens in the American Athletic Conference if somebody becomes really good. But this is a great football team led by senior quarterback Sam Howell. Howell probably would have been a 1st or 2nd round pick had he declared for the draft last year, but he decided to surprise everybody and stay at school. He pulled off an Andrew Luck, minus the generational prospect part, because Sam Howell is not Andrew Luck. This is a very well-rounded roster. They have a 99 overall receiver in Josh Downs. They have a great offensive line. They have 4 corners who are at least like 89-plus overalls. This team is loaded. We've got our hands full today, and you can't really expect Metropolis to get a win. So if they can put up a fight, play like they did against Alabama and Oklahoma last year, I think that'd be a success. Again, the Bulldogs were very competitive in those 2 games. They were only down by 2 against Alabama at halftime. They were tied against Oklahoma at halftime. And although the Bulldogs sucked in the second half of both of those games, they were competitive. They put up a fight, and I'm expecting a fight here today against North Carolina. Welcome to Keenan Memorial Stadium here in Chapel Hill as the number 2 ranked UNC Tar Heels take on the 2-0 Metropolis Bulldogs, looking to shock the world and completely change up the college football landscape. The Bulldogs will choose tails because, well, you guys know the drill. Tails never fails. And, well, I guess it fails 20% of the time, and this is one of those 20% as it lands on heads. North Carolina chooses to start on offense, so I guess it worked out for Metropolis because they always choose to start on defense. 3rd and 6. Howell goes short, but the pass is broken up. Good play by Hassan Antonio, the nickel corner, with a big interception in week 1 to propel Metropolis to win over Washington State. So now the Bulldogs have it on offense. Jonathan Roberts will get the start today. Manuel Castillo will play in the second half as Roberts with a big run. The big difference between Jonathan Roberts and Manuel Castillo is their mobility. Both of them have very similar arms, but Roberts is more of a playmaker as a runner, which I think gives him the slight advantage. 3rd and 8, Roberts looking to throw it, and he connects with Emmanuel Cortez, the slot receiver, for a nice first down. So far, just like last year, the Bulldogs don't look phased against a big-time ranked opponent. 4th and 8, nice kick down the middle by Mark Mitchell, the marksman, who has only missed, I believe, 2 kicks in his entire collegiate career. So it's 3-0. North Carolina has it back. Good throw by Howell to Justin Olson for a gain of 15 yards. We'll see what Howell can do, not just today, but throughout this season as he tries to prove himself as a potential high NFL draft pick. It's a screen for the running back, Elijah Green, here on 3rd and 10, and he is smothered in the backfield, gaining nothing. Malcolm DeGray brings him down, so a very strong start for this Metropolis defense, who has looked really good in both games in this episode. The Bulldogs offense has it back, 3rd and 3. Xavier Grice only gets about 2, so North Carolina gets a big stop. As that concludes the first quarter, the Bulldogs are on top. 3-0 your score. I know it's early, but Metropolis doesn't look too bad up to this point, particularly on the defensive end of the field. They have really shut down Sam Howell and company. So 4th and 1 from inside the 30, and they're going to go for it. Interesting call here by head coach Isaiah Sparks as it's a handoff for Victor Adams. He does get the first down, so I guess the overly ballsy call pays off. I would expect Metropolis to be extra aggressive today, even though they had the lead. They're still going to have to pull a rabbit out of their hat if they want to really win this game. 3rd and 6. Roberts has Osiris Young open, but misses the pass. Jonathan Roberts has been very unimpressive so far in both games today, particularly this one. Easy pass there, but he missed through it. And now North Carolina has it back. It's another screen here on 3rd and 5 for Green. Breaks the tackle from Neal, but isn't really able to gain much. He actually loses 2. Another stop for the Metropolis defense, who is currently on fire. And now they have it back on offense as it's a 3rd down and 2 here for the Bulldogs. Roberts looking to throw it under pressure. Incomplete. Another stalled drive here as Jonathan Roberts' struggles continue. Largely, the offensive line has a lot to do with it, but he hasn't really done himself any favors today either. UNC has it back, and the offense is finally trying to get into a rhythm as it's Stephen Gonsel with a nice play pushed out by Jovanovic. North Carolina's offenses look like a train wreck today. I mean, they have been completely shut down here. I think, 3 drives and 3 punts? They've got to get something going here. Howell, play action fake. Back to Gonsel, who gets by the defender inside the 10. Wrapped up at about the 5 or 6 yard line by Hassan Antonio. So a couple big plays there by Stephen Gonsel, and now North Carolina appears to be in business. They have it on the goal line, looking to take the lead here as it's a 3rd and goal. They're literally inches away from the end zone. They can just taste points, and it looks like Green is in. Elijah Green stumbles into the end zone for a touchdown, and the North Carolina Tar Heels are finally on the board. It took them 4 drives, but they are able to score the touchdown, and now it is 7-3. An early quarterback change. Manuel Castillo's already in the game. I guess the Bulldogs figured, well, Jonathan Roberts wasn't doing anything. Let's hope Castillo does, and that's not a great start. It's intercepted by Storm Duck, who takes it to the house. Quack, quack. It's a duck party in the end zone. Storm Duck with the pick 6. Not a particularly great opening here for Manuel Castillo, who has thrown an interception in all 3 games, whereas Jonathan Roberts has not gotten picked off once. 14-3 here, North Carolina leads. The Bulldogs played so well through the first portion of that first half, but they really played poorly the last couple of minutes, and it seems like North Carolina is now starting to turn on the Jets. Good throw, though, by Castillo on third down. He connects with Marcus Wilkerson for the first down. With Jonathan Roberts playing poorly, Manuel Castillo can really make up some ground in this QB battle, even with the early interception. 3rd and 3, it's John Alexander who loses a couple of yards. Good job there by Giovanni Biggers to bring him down. Now 4th and 5, the Bulldogs say, screw it. We're playing the number 2 team in the nation on the road. Why not go for it? Castillo cannot get rid of it. He is sacked for a loss of about 6 yards. So the UNC defense forces a big stop. Now they have it on offense, looking to make it a 3-score game. Sam Howell on 3rd and 6 lofts it up for Stephen Gunsel, who's had a really solid performance with the number 1 receiver, Josh Downs, being shut down for the most part. He's been the guy to step up. First down now, Howell back to Gunsel, breaks the tackle from Antonio, wrapped up at the 9-yard line by Roberson as it's now 1st and goal. UNC is very close to the end zone here, trying to add on to their already now established lead. It took a quarter and a half for the offense to figure it out, but I think it's fair to say the offense has figured it out. On 1st and goal, Elijah Green is in for a score, and North Carolina is now up big, 21-3. So just as what happened last year against Alabama and Oklahoma, the Bulldogs start off strong, but they really play poorly as the game goes on. 2nd and 3, Victor Adams loses 5. As you can tell, the Bulldogs have not really been able to run the ball today after being unable to convert the 3rd down. It's now at 4th and 8. The punt team is actually out, believe it or not. Here is Zach Kirksey with the kick. And boy, is that a good one. Down inside the 1-yard line. What a punt by Zach Kirksey. And now we have to watch out for the possibility of a safety. They're not even really at the 1-yard line. They're more like at the half-yard line. 1st and 10, handoff for Green, and he is tackled for a loss in the end zone. Hassan Antonio, 2 hands for safety. And Metropolis is finally back on the board as it's now 21-5. I believe that is the first safety in school history. So Bulldogs have it back, 4th and 3. They're going to go for it. Castillo is sacked again. So much for that field position as the offense continues to lay a goose egg here today. And now North Carolina gets it back, looking to add on to the lead even more. Howell gets it to Josh Downs, breaks a tackle, breaks another one, and is hit hard by Ryan Jovanovic. Nice gain of 17 there for Downs, who again has been shut down. SOUR-KREME has been his main assignment, and KREME, after picking off 3 passes last week, is not getting the ball thrown his way. 1st and goal, it's Justin Olson on the jet sweep with the North Carolina touchdown. The Tar Heels add to their lead as it's now 28-5. And that concludes our 3rd quarter. Another pretty bad quarter there for Metropolis. It seems like the undefeated season is definitely in jeopardy, but I will say this. I don't think anybody expected the undefeated season to make it to Game 3, which is pretty impressive. 3rd and 6, nice throw for Marcus Wilkerson. That might be the first true good throw of the day by either Jonathan Roberts or Manuel Castillo. We'll see if Castillo can do anything here in the 4th quarter to try to help his stock in this QB battle as it's a 4th and 1. Handoff for Grice, and he is stopped. I would like to point out that Victor Adams actually got injured. He actually might miss a couple of weeks. So we're going to see some more Xavier Grice, some more John Alexander, and especially some more Donovan Barrington going forward in this backfield as Adams recovers from his boo-boo. North Carolina has it back, 3rd and 4. Howell takes a shot for the end zone. It is caught, but out of bounds. Good coverage there by the true freshman, Brian McGrew. So North Carolina will have to send the field goal team out. We can make it a 26-point affair. The kick is up, and it is down the middle. And so UNC now leads this game 31-5. I feel like it's impossible to have a scoregami in college football because there are so many games per week. But this game might be a scoregami. For those who don't know, a scoregami is a final score of the football game that has never happened before. And you don't see 31-5 finals happen very often, as Bulldogs are stopped on another 4th down. That was actually Jonathan Roberts in for that drive at quarterback. And so that's how this game ends. 31-5 is your final. North Carolina gets the win. They are now 2-0. The Bulldogs fall to 2-1. So, again, we played a far superior team today, and we looked poor. I'm just going to say it. It's pretty much that simple. We definitely did show a lot of effort and a lot of fight, just like the 2 games against Alabama and Oklahoma last year. We started this game off really well. Halfway through the first half, actually halfway through the 2nd quarter, I would say, it was 3-0. We had the lead, and then the defense kind of played poorly. Sam Howell figured it out. After the first drive, the offense was abysmal. We could not throw the ball. We could not run the ball. Neither quarterback really played all that well. Their passer ratings very similar to each other. I think Castillo was a little bit better, but not by much. He did the interception and was sacked twice, but I thought he threw the ball a tad bit better than Jonathan Roberts. The run game didn't get a whole lot going either, and as I said, Victor Adams did get injured about halfway through the fourth quarter, so he's going to be out probably for a game or two, which is certainly not ideal, and we're going to need a lot of guys, specifically Donovan Barrington, to step up. The receivers were pretty quiet. Osiris Young has come back down to earth as sort of expected. He had 3 catches for 17 yards, and then the defense started off so well in this game, but after like 3 drives, it all sort of fell apart. I am happy that we got this game out of the way. Again, this was by far the hardest game on our schedule. Nobody left on the schedule is currently ranked, and again, that is subject to change. I do suspect, since the conference is a little bit weaker, that maybe 1 or 2 teams, one I'm looking out for specifically is East Carolina, to really play well and assert themselves maybe into the top 25. So that'll certainly be something to monitor as we get into more conference play. I think a few of the teams in our conference have already started playing conference games. I don't know why they have and we haven't, but oh well, it's really not that big of a deal. And since we were playing 9 in-conference games, all 9 of our regular season games going forward will be in conference. I usually only like to have 8 conference games, but I think I forgot to turn off the protected rivalries setting, so that's why we have 9 games in conference this year. Week 4, we have a bye week. We're going to stop here today. Week 5 will be in the next episode. We play Tulane for our very first American Athletic Conference game. Tulane's a pretty good football team. I think they're one of the better squads in the conference, and it is a road game as well. They're led by a talented junior quarterback who's an 88 overall in Michael Pratt, who's a pretty good player. So we're going to certainly have to look out for him. They have Cameron Carroll, an 86 overall running back as well. So they're a pretty good team. We're going to have our hands full next week down south in the Cajun State against the Green Wave. So that'll end today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed 2 pretty fun games today. A big win against Maryland and an unfortunate loss against number 2 UNC. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace.